We did 30K just in that one weekend.
You basically, like, at this point, you hijacked the business.
We came in with that very, very ambitious mentality. We set the expectation like that's an absolute disgrace. If we win number 2, we'll delete all of our social medias. On a sales call, when you're maybe closing a creator's prospects, if they leave this call and they haven't bought my product, they are screwed, because that means I haven't created a product good enough to really deliver.
What did you add to the offer that allowed you to make that shift? Maybe if there's people watching here, they're trying to shift from low ticket to high ticket.
With the churn model, they'll go 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and that they wouldn't even be able to test the product in, right?
With that ambitious mentality also comes an ambitious competitor.
You don't know the second fastest man in the world, right? They only know number 1.
And speaking of number 1, that's because Will, my prior business partner / student, was able to clear over 220K for his clients last month and make an extra 100 grand in cash because they won first place on the competition on who makes the most amount of cash in 30 days, called the School Games, hosted by this guy named Alex Hermosi. So him taking around 10% of that, he made himself 30 grand in profit. That's in 1 month from one client. So there are 4 things you have to really understand before the podcast actually begins, which is first, well, what model does this guy even do? And then where was the business when he joined in at the start? And then where did he get it to? What was that shift that happened? And also, what is like the high level view on what we're going to be even talking about in the rest of the podcast, and also who really this is for if you're watching this. And so the high level view of what he does, Will, it's that he is a growth operator. And pretty much this is where he goes as the growth operator, and he partners with, let's say, a creator or a coach or consultant. And then he goes ahead and helps scale their info product program. And so the current state of where this creator was, or this creator business really, it was that he helped out School of Barbering. All right. And you guys are probably wondering, well, what the heck is a School of Barbering? It's this offer where there are these, actually very funnily enough, 3 different creators. So let's just say there's the barber 1, and then there's barber 2 with like funky hair like this. And there's a third barber who has hair like this. Okay. And basically there are 3 barber creators. And afterwards, these guys, they're teaching their audience how to do this business model called high ticket barbering. This is where they would tell their audience, hey, you guys should start a social media page on Instagram and then get clout and afterwards charge higher prices. This is how these barbers, they're making like $50, $100, $200 per haircut. But the thing was that with this great mechanism, with this great thing that they were teaching, they're only charging $50 a month for a school community. And in total, they're only making around 20 grand a month. And so the customers, since they only valued or they saw the thing that they were buying at $50 a month at such a low value, even though the course was honestly really good and the community was really good, they were charging every single month. There wasn't actually this MRR or monthly recurring revenue that people talk about with these school communities, where it's actually what you get. And so this is where Will decided to join on in. And he was like, dude, you guys can make so much more money. You guys should charge high ticket instead, which is then where he allowed them to scale to 230K per month. Plus he got a bonus of 100 grand plus with the School Games. And so in total, that's how they made $330,000. And so in this podcast today, we're going to explain 4 core things, which is number 1, we're going to explain this growth operator model fully by really just you getting to see the full 2-month journey of how Will scaled them. The first month, it was November 2024. This is when he got them to, I think it was like 50K in a month. And then afterwards in December 2024, this is when they got them to freaking 230K, plus that 100K, which was 330K a month. And also we may interchange between this growth operator / growth integrator model or the word integrator, but fundamentally it's still the same thing. And then also we're going to break down the characters that are in this story. And so the characters that you have to keep in mind, because we're just going to be kind of throwing names around there, is first, Kenneth. That's the first barber. Second, it's going to be David. That's the second barber. It's the barber that's a little bit better at sales. I would say Kenneth is more so the barber that's like the main creator. He's on YouTube. And then finally, the third barber's name is Los Cuts. And this guy is more helping on the fulfillment end, and really building out the course, doing the customer support for the people that are joining into the program, the barbers, the student barbers. Okay. And then finally, there's another character named Ivan. Let's make his hair like this. And Ivan is what we call a mega affiliate
they weren't actually part of the School of Barbering. It wasn't one of the main creators. However, they launched sort of a separate offer for this guy and then funneled Ivan's audience all into the core School of Barbering course. And so if you don't fully understand that mega affiliate model yet, we'll explain it further down the road as the podcast continues. And then finally, there's 3 other characters here, or I guess kind of 4, which are the operators. Okay. And so there are 3 operators initially when they're doing more so this low ticket model, which was Tien, and there was Niche, and there was Zakia. Okay. But Niche and Zakia, they weren't doing as much. And so they ended up cutting them. And afterwards, Tien stayed on as they were scaling the business. And Tien more so focused on like building the backend operations and I guess also setting up marketing and so creating like Instagram stories. And then Will, who's that growth operator or the growth operator that we're talking about in this podcast, boom, he joined on in and he partnered up with Tien. And he was really the one that started this whole high ticket thing with these guys. And so the whole team, the core team was Will, Tien, who was my prior business partner. You'll learn more about it in the podcast. And also a student of Operator Incubator. And then Tien, also a student of Operator Incubator. And then they went ahead and partnered with these 3 barbers. Actually, fun fact, they met inside of our free school community. Link down below if you want to join that. You get a full like 20-hour course on growth operating. Just like our YouTube video is super well organized. And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 core characters. And then Ivan is sort of an extra person, and they all were working on this core School of Barbering. And so with that being said, on top of breaking down the story of, this really it's like a movie that we're really showing today, we're also going to break down 3 unique untapped marketing strategies throughout this play that is going to take in front of your eyes, called the first mega affiliate model, then an offer spin up situation where they would just sort of spin up unique offers to really make sure they win the school games. And then finally, this daily IG story sequence or Instagram story sequence cycle, which you probably have not heard of yet. But overall, week by week analysis on Will's perspective of him joining into the business, we're going to start on week 1 of November, all the way then to week 4 of November, and then from week 1 through 4 also of December. And so 2 months of scaling a huge company we're going to see scaling from freaking 20K to 50K to freaking 330K. It's pretty unreal. And so if you are a beginner in this online space and you're really looking to get into this info space, maybe try drop shipping or all these affiliate marketing or these weird business models before, and now you're like, shoot, this info space is huge. That's blowing up. Let's say you're a copywriter, you're a closer, you're a setter, you're an agency owner, you're a growth operator, you're a creator, you're a coach, or you're a consultant. Listen, there are huge nuggets for all of you guys on how to scale an info offer to 350K or, at the least 250K, like 5xing a company in 1 month. But really, it all starts with
In November, this is when you joined on and you just crushed it for these guys. So starting like week 1 November, what happened?
Right. So week 1 November, that's when I didn't really come onto the company, but I was honestly just asking Tien, I think that this could be something where we can make it work together. It's a kind of a perfect situation where, you guys are at the breaking point. I feel like I would have experience, transitioning you guys outside of like the point of resistance that you guys are at with the School of Barbering. And I kind of like shadowed the company at that time. I wasn't like super active in terms of, giving instructions or orders, but it was just more so me like scheming in the back. So that's what I was doing.
Week 1 and 2, you're checking how the operations work, how the systems work. Cool. What happens next? Like, what's the next point of the story?
So I think tangibly, I'm asking certain questions, like not just what is going on, but what is the thought process behind XYZ, right? Which is something that we personally do a lot in Integrator Incubator. Realistically, we talk about how to think from first principles and the importance of really thinking from these principles, right? From a foundational standpoint. And so that's what I was really doing, is analyzing just what is the thought process like? Do we have a thought process behind this? Is there a reason why we haven't launched high ticket? Is there a certain way we're launching this funnel, right? Because I'm completely new and I don't just want to give criticism without understanding first
Right.
what the thought process is, right? So if it's working really well, I could double down on that. If it's not working really well, I want to understand what the thought process is. And also, just from a client communication standpoint, it would just feel wrong for me to just come in and just tell them exactly, hey, step by step, what to do. Because keep in mind, I didn't even get approved at this point. Like, to be honest, it's like a weird analogy, but I kind of snuck myself into the business. I I was just like, I just showed up one day in a meeting, and then I just kept going on afterwards.
Okay, so then week 1 and 2, you're doing the analysis. What happens like week 3?
So week 3 is, I think, when we start strategically like testing.
Wait, week 3. Hold on, before that, like week 1, 2, and then kind of like 3. What is current state? I remember us talking about that. Like, what is going on in the business that you do analyze? Because like you're asking these whys, right? Like, what is the conclusion after like first principle analysis across like the departments of the business? Like, what the fuck is fucked, and like how we're going to integrate the right systems into like what's broken.
Right. So the main thing that I saw a huge flaw on was like the churn model, which very, very interesting enough. We pointed that out to the operators when we weren't even working like on a consulting end. So when Tian, Niche, Z were on, I think we pointed that out like, yo, the low ticket thing is just not working. Just try a different model, right? And so I was confused as to why that hadn't changed. And I was asking certain questions about the statistics, like this churn rate. People still do it no matter what. They've tried this in the fulfillment. They've tried, gamifying. Month 1 you get this, month 2 you get this. You unlock more and more, and so the churn rate is still there, and that's just like the nature, right? And so more so, it was creating a new approach, but also communicating that, right, to build trust with the barbers. Like, hey, why not do this type of approach? Why not do high ticket, right? And a lot of the times, it's the trust building factor with a lot of these clients in the integrator space, because they don't know that you could just be launching high ticket, scamming people for like 2K and over promising, right?
Yeah.
And realistically, a lot of these creators, they have a brand that they've built for many of years.
Right.
Whether it's the barbers, whether it's even yourself, whether it's any creator, right? And so they obviously the reputation is everything. And so you need to think in terms of reputation and what your creator actually thinks from their perspective, right? So a lot of integrators, I'm gonna just be completely transparent. After like coaching a few in the program, they just want to come in, launch a high ticket offer, dip out and get a bag.
Right.
That's honestly how it was kind of marketed as, right? But if you can really just take a second and think from a creator standpoint, hey, they have these concerns about their reputation, their brand. Like, can they actually fulfill on a high ticket product? Can they deliver on the promises like this, right? Like some integrators are just coming in, doing Hormozzi's 100 million offers, over promising everything, and realistically, the creator can't deliver, right? So
Yeah.
there's no congruency behind the integrator and then the creator, and the whole business is just messed up, right? So the whole communication aspect is very key.
Yeah, and making that clear, because I would say, I guess kind of what you're getting there from like the lesson is the fact that these guys, they were doing low ticket because they didn't believe that they could charge such high prices, because they felt like that would just be scamming their audience and it would be no fun. But for you realize like, oh no, this is like, we have to do high ticket because then you would be doing your audience a disservice, like the other angle of it.
Exactly. So it's just like we flipped the script in that sense. So with Ken, he spoke about this on the last podcast he did. He did a podcast with some other school games winners, right? And Ken, who was one of the barbers in the School of Barbering, was saying that he didn't feel like the product was good enough, right? And so one of the things that we had established and we had kind of shifted our whole belief as a company and our culture is that if they don't, join for at least a yearly commitment, which is what we started selling, which I'll get into a little bit more later, is that with the churn model, they'll go 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and that they wouldn't even be able to test the product in, right? So it's shifting the beliefs, and really when you guys are selling, whether it's selling yourself to a creator, excuse me, selling yourself to on a sales call when you're maybe closing a creative prospects. It's more so like, and you taught me this, so I give credit to you, but it's more so like if they leave this call and they haven't bought my product, they are screwed, because that means I haven't created a product good enough to really deliver on their expectations and help them out, right? So once we started shifting a few of those frames and we worked on it together collaboratively, it was big change in the whole sales process.
Okay, we'll get to that. I would say more so in December, or I guess no, week 4. But before that, in week 3, what happens
Right.
then? I remember at this point, you're going from $0 low ticket. This is where the fun happens.
Yeah.
You getting now on a sales call and like suddenly
Right.
2,000, right? Like, tell me about
Right.
that part.
Right. So I'll explain that part. We did a call model, and I didn't call with an intention to sell. Like, obviously, I want to sell the $50 product, but I said, hey, let's do a yearly commitment. Let's do this. So I started calling people for market research. And what I was doing was I was formulating the dynamic sales letter, formerly one of the greatest assets in Operator Incubator. So for context, what the dynamic sales letter is it's like it's a long document kind of going over your ICP, all of their pain points, kind of what is current state, what is desired state, what are all the objections, what are all like the pain points and the hurdles you can get them through, right? And so it's really getting really clear in that doc, so that sales calls can just be so much more frictionless. Your content will resonate more. It's just the foundational dynamic sales letter, like it's called, right? So I was going on these one-on-one calls for market research essentially and gathering info. So it's like a info gathering stage, right? And in the process, I had some fun with it. I'm gonna just be completely honest. I was like, you know what? While I have you on the call, closing for 50 on a call is too easy. It's not worth the time in general. So I said the first time ever is 500, right? For a year, I was like, you know what? The dude told me, the barber was like, hey, why not 1 month? I know you guys have it for 1 month. I'm like, you know what? You have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You seem like you want to do this. You ready to lock in? 500. Boom. First ever belief was like, damn, that actually worked. And that was, I just technically closed like 10 people in 20 minutes from just that one call, right? 50 times 10, 500 for an entire year.
Right.
And so that was a big shift in limiting belief. And then we started adding kind of more deliverables to the actual fulfillment, right? And we just started testing these calls.
Right.
And then from there was like 1K. But obviously that they received one-on-one calls. They received high ticket. They received better results. I'm not going to come here and say we sold a 5K product, or we sold people for 5K on a $50 program, right? That's not what I did at all.
100%.
Just to clarify, right? So
Yeah.
But we did shift the limiting belief from that one $500 product. It was into 1 and then 2K, and then from there was more so, this is actually a good enough product, and now with the whole high ticket model, it's just depending on how you can say. You could say, oh, I'm taking this guy's, a big portion of his savings and everything. I'm doing him a disservice. Or you can say it as, this guy's committed now. He's actually going to use my program. He's actually going to put more effort, and now he's actually going to use his program to change his life. And that was one of the selling points, which was like, barbering is supposed to change your life. Like you're as a barber, it's your business, it's your
100%.
career. If you're not making finances, you can't afford, rent for your family, all these things that it ties down to.
Yeah.
You have like the obligation to help your family out and improve as a barber, right? So just a little side tangent on a selling point that we used right there. But that was, going back to the main point, that was a big limiting belief when we first hit the yearly thing on a call. We were just like, you know what, the call model is going to start working. And from there, experimenting with that. Yeah.
So basically, it was $50. You validated it for 1 year. You went from 50 times the year price was $500. Boom, you got the sale. So then you went from like 500 though to like 1K, 2K. Now you're adding shit to it to like make the barbers validate like, oh, this is okay to do, right? So like, what did you add to the offer that like allowed you to make that shift? Maybe if there's people watching here that are trying to shift from low ticket to high ticket, they could take this.
So right before I answer that question, what I will explain real quick is that tactically what I'm doing, and this is something that Tim taught me personally in the incubator process, but with price resistance, you want to take these market research calls, and if like 500 a year is too easy still, you go to 1K, you go to 1500, you go to 2K. So that's practically what I'm doing, right? And so I'm playing around with certain things like, hey, if I add a one-on-one call like this, if I add this maybe like community aspect, would you be more interested? Would this work? Would this work? So like I'm tactically pushing the price up while delivering more value and seeing where's the line of resistance for pricing, right? Because just like there was a resistance of 20K MRR, certain amount of churn, certain amount of new customers that need a, just come in just to mitigate the churn, there's the same kind of resistance with pricing, right? So that's tactically what I'm doing. So that was like the process that I was using for this. What was the main question again that you were asking me?
No, I think you got it right there. You put the nail on the head, which is like, what did you add extra? Which were those components? Okay, cool. And so then, like, I remember at a certain point in the story now, it's like there's a really big turning point when you charge someone for 2K for a $50 product. And like you guys were talking on Slack, and there's like a bit of fear from like the barbers. Like, how did that part of the story go?
Yeah, so it was excitement and a little bit of fear as well, because it's like a funny story, because I closed a guy for 2K,
right?
But they saw like the email client closed for 2K, and like David, who's a barber with School of Barbering,
one of the 3 creators.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He had let me know, hey, like what's going on, like good stuff, but what are the deliverables? What's different? And that was like a mixture of emotions. It was excitement, like, yo, we can do this, we can do all these things, and then a little bit of fear, which was, damn, like this is super super serious. You can't just say it's a $50, like it's $50 is a meal technically, like a nice expensive meal, but this is some guys like actual life saving. So obviously, like I want to fulfill. So it was a good thing, and that's what I admire a lot about the barbers. And that's the first thing they ask is like, fulfillment wise, what do we have to do right away? How can we give me his number, let's FaceTime him right away, surprise him on a call or whatever, like just really get that customer satisfaction and decrease buyer's remorse right away. Right. So that was a huge green flag from the barbers, and but the limiting belief there was broken.
Right? Yeah, that's good, because like, one, you get to see that the bar or the creators are fit. So for those of you who are watching who have those creators, like that's how you know they're good, when they're like, when you close for them, they're really starting to fulfill. But then the biggest thing here was like belief broken. Now, like, holy shoot, we can actually charge this much for a fucking $50 product. We just add an extra call here. And the biggest thing is like the fact that they're committed. And now we make more money. They make more money. It's a win-win. And so there's when like shit starts hitting the fan.
Yeah. And so now at this stage, we are actually transitioning and rebranding. So like we went from like low ticket is the best, high ticket, we ain't doing none of that, to okay, let's actually formulate a high ticket offer, make that the main product. And to be honest, at this point, we just completely forgot about low ticket. That's when we all came collectively to a decision that like, hey, we're being undervalued, we're being taken advantage of by the market, and we're honestly doing the service, charging it this low. And so we came to a collective decision that, hey, it's now time to rebrand as a actual high ticket solidified offer. And so that's what we did. And that's actually the offer we used to win the school games.
Okay, so then now going into the big bucks in week 4 of November.
Yeah.
This is when Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and this huge collab hits. So what happens week 4 of November?
Yeah. So that was the official start of the bull run. That was when we had, down all the sales process. We had like setting scripts to book calls. We had the barbers.
Wait, and could you? Is this like where the NDA starts hitting? Like, are you not allowed to show the systems that you were?
Yeah, no, I can't show behind the scenes for this.
Oh fuck. Okay, well that's fine, because basically, like, you just ended up stealing what we used inside of OI. But break that down. Yeah, like, how did those systems work?
So if Tim wants to show like a little preview of the OI,
no, I don't want to show it either. You guys got to put a call and join its integrated computer. That's how you get it.
It's $9.99.
Not even $9.99. Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, 997 course. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, 997 course.
Yeah.
Get the template, but whatever. So I'm gonna be just completely honest. It was plug and play. That's what I love about it. It was so simple. I just took the setting script. Obviously you can change it to barbers or whatever, but like the SOPs and everything was plug and play. You use that. Okay, boom. We have a call booking model. Literally the same thing on GHL. The funnels plug and play. It was all done right. So there's that aspect. Closing. We had recorded all the looms. They pretty much knew how to close already. They were closing for low ticket, and they just have a lot of experience as barbers. So we had that. They were on board. We had the barbers closing, and
Whoa, okay. You're skipping really far. Like the barbers are
Yeah.
not closing yet in week 4 November, right? Or no?
so it was me and David only closing at that time.
Okay, so David, the other one of the barber creators that's quite good at sales, not Kenneth, but another one. He was closing even in week 4.
Yeah, so me and David were both closing in week 4.
Got it. Okay. So then like tell me chronologically like what happened. I would say like systems are dialed in now. We use or I guess back then it was more like OI systems to plug and play into the business, like the setting script, the sales process, things like that. And then we do like a Black Friday launch. And then like how much do you make? Like, how does that look? Guys, so if you're enjoying this and you're, let's say, a current business owner, a copywriter, a high ticket sales rep, or an agency owner, you're making, let's say, $3,000 to $5,000 a month that's already in, or let's say you're looking to get into this online info marketing space and scale up with these creators with this growth operating model we're talking about here. And let's say you're looking for help starting this model out, you're in the outreaching phase, or even you're trying to launch your first creator. Our operating incubator basically installs all of the systems to scale to, let's say, 10 to 25 grand per month as a growth operator on a pretty much one-on-one basis. So to understand exactly what our growth operator model is, if you're interested in what we offer, then go ahead into the link in the description and book in a call with me or one of my team members on how you can get these results. See you soon.
Yeah, so from the Black Friday launch, we had set a pretty humble goal just to make 25K in that one weekend. See if we can do our previous monthly revenue in a weekend for Black Friday and test a high ticket offer. And we surpassed that pretty easily. We did like 10K days, I guess like 4 to 5 days in a row. And so it was actually, so here, I'll make a quick little adjustment. I would need to go, I'll just quickly say one thing real quick. But David had done a partnership deal with Ivan the Great. This is like all public information, but he was a big asset to like School of Barbering. He is what's known as a partner or a joint venture or like a mega affiliate, where he also had a barbering audience and he wanted to get into coaching as well. A lot of people were hitting him up, and David had went to Texas, which is where Ivan is located at, to help him record some one-on-one content about how Ivan does behind the scenes. And originally, Ivan was just going to come in as a feature for School of Barbering inside the actual course, right? And so that was a plan. And then me and David had chopped it up. We had said, hey, he has a huge audience and we could actually use some extra fuel. So what we decided to do was we built him a separate funnel. We built him separate sales assets, his own kind of closing script, and we launched an offer in his market as well. So for the Black Friday and Cyber Monday promo, he had his own separate like form of leads, and he was closing for his own offer, and it was me and David assisting him in the back.
Interesting. So you guys almost like GI'd for him as well.
Yeah, so we literally technically integrated him. If you think about it like that, we also had like
Interesting.
I was technically like a third party integrator inside an integrator like company. So
Yeah.
it was really last second and spontaneous, but it worked really, really well. It just worked really well.
Interesting. So then that was like combined with Black Friday. So like not only did you guys Black Friday promo on Kenneth, David, and the other guy, but also for this guy too.
Yes, literally. So like 4 big guys, like total
4
amount
creators.
of attention is like you have so many leads. It was too many leads that we can handle at this point. It was pretty wild, and we knew that coming into Cyber Monday was like that Monday after. It was like December 2nd or something.
Yeah.
And we had realized, I think on the 4th or 5th was when we had a team meeting, and we had already closed like maybe it was like 10K a day consistently. So like by the fourth, I think we had already done 40K, or maybe a little bit less, like maybe 35K. And so by that time, we also looked at the school games,
Mm.
and we saw that there was very little competition, and also like we had a ton of momentum from the bull run.
Okay, so like tell me what you did in November then. Total cash collected.
So total, we launched pretty late too. Like I think we schemed up like the campaign. We had the partnership deal like 2 days right before the Black Friday launch. We didn't even
Jeez.
solidify everything, right? So
Yeah.
total cash collected for November, we did 30K just in that one weekend.
Damn.
Of Black Friday, yeah. And this is like
Weekend. There's like 2-3 days you did 30K.
yeah, 2 or 3 days. It's like the first ever 3 days. We were going pretty crazy with that. Yeah.
Respect. And like total November, do you know what you did?
Including the low ticket, it was like 55, because the low ticket was through like 20 to 25 at the month. Around there, yeah.
Damn. So this is like when you take a company from 20K to like 50K within, you like
Yeah.
almost 2x it in 30 days. Of course, like you're gonna have some clout in the company now and some influence.
Yeah, so there it was just like what I needed most was just the trust. It was just there, it's just like, okay, I can prove myself. There's that trust aspect. We'll work on the fulfillment after as well. We'll give ideas for that. And this is when Los Cuts played a really, really big role. We kind of had him as like
Who's
the
Los
fulfillment-
Cuts?
Carlos Jimenez. He was the third barber of School of Barbering.
Got it.
And so he was on calls as well, but his main part was fulfillment, and we kind of gave him his role on the side that, and he was helping with that like a lot.
Got it. So he was the third. Right. And so at this point, David's a killer closer. You're a monster. And then
Ivan.
and then Ivan is
Ivan.
also on the marketing end. He's closing for his own offer.
Yeah, so he's actually closing for his own offer.
Right. And then Tian, and they're doing the fulfillment side. Very much so.
Correct. So Tia is actually helping with marketing as well. A lot
And,
of
like,
it.
Quickly, guys. Tian, she was one of our like OG students, kind of was a I guess alumni of Operating Incubator, like the company itself. Like she was doing a lot of work there, and then now she has crushed it in there.
Yeah, so she's like doing everything, CSM, helping with setting, building the thing on GHL. And another thing is like shout out to the IG story sequences. But the plug and play for the IG stories definitely helped a lot, because that was something where we could do consistently every day and get new lead flows. Like every story, every single day, as long as we just posted like a story sequence, we'd get like 10 book calls from every story from each creator, right? So the fact that we had that SOP and templatized, that was actually a really, really big help. So shout out to OI or double I shout out. Yeah.
Wait, that was like our prior IG story systems that we used, and then you brought it into there. And then, okay, and also you're trying to crack setting at this point, right? Week 4, you ended up cracking setting like in another unique way, right? So could you break that like current state versus what ended up happening state?
So in this case, to be completely transparent, what was going on was we had a lot of just too much lead flow coming in, and we didn't really have a way to handle that. So it was every barber, setter, closer, and CSM. So like they set them, they close them, and then like they onboard them into their own thing, right? And that was the model that we had used to just reduce all of complexity. And obviously, like on the operation side, we try to do our best, like setting in between each account and helping with the closes as well.
Got it. Yeah, so usually wouldn't be as optimal, but if we're optimizing for freaking winning the school games, then we got to do what we got to do. Okay, cool. So then week 1 and 2, this is now where we start going into the school games of December, right? And you're like, all right, there's not much competition here. I think we could crush this thing. We could make something happen. And so tell me about like, how did the OKR setting like go in the company, and like what you started visualizing? I remember you had a vision board or some shit like that. So tell me about like what happened week 1 and 2.
Okay. So the vision board stuff, like I believe in all of that, but I didn't do it. It was actually Tian. So she had a vision board of Hormozy in the school games, and
You gotta
I guess
ask her about that in another podcast. Watch
yeah,
the
you gotta
podcast,
ask.
guys. That one's coming next week, I think. For those of you watching this when
Yes.
this comes out.
So for that, we just had a team call one day. And we just said that OKRs were like, "Yo, we're gonna win the school games. We're going for number one." Like,
And like high level guys, OKRs, objectives, key results. It's a goal setting process from how like large tech companies are run, and we integrated it into OI, and then afterwards now we're like I think Will or Tian, he ended up rolling it out into the School of Barbering.
correct. Yeah, and I actually learned that from you, so I can credit that for you.
Thanks.
Measure what matters. Fire book for anybody who wants to learn more about that. So yeah, we came in. We had a meeting. It was honestly like almost the end of the first week of December. If I remember correctly, it was December 5th, right? So we said, hey, look at the revenue, guys. Look at the competition. Even though it wasn't processed on the actual school games, the community, we had saw like we're basically smoking everybody, and we decided, yo, do we want to go number one? Do we want to extend the 1 week Cyber Monday and do a 4 week bull run with the school games, right? And we just had to have commitment from everybody. We just had to have everybody like on the same page saying, yo, what we did, all-nighters, 12, 13 hours a day, every person taking 10 calls a day, it'll be for another 4 weeks, right? And so we had everybody on board. Everybody's like, hell yeah, we're going to do it. And also we came with the expectation that we weren't going to win top 10. We were going to win number one. Like number two, we set the expectation like that's an absolute disgrace. If we win number two, we won't even pull up to the school game, and we'll delete all of our social medias. So
Yeah.
that was like the expectation. Like we don't these barbers, like they're competitors. Like everyone on the team has a spirit and just competing. Like they play sports, they love competition, and anybody knows like number two, no difference to number 10. Like you don't know the second fastest man in the world, right? They only know number one. So we came in with that very, very ambitious mentality.
But then with that ambitious mentality also comes an ambitious competitor. And so at this point, you had some motherfucker on your ass. Break down that enemy that you had.
Yeah, so his name is Mike. And,
Name dropping and everything, huh?
yeah, no, this is all public info. Like if you search up December 2024 school leaderboards, so if you search up December 2024 school games winners, you can see everything. You can see like our public revenue, so like we're not like making this up our ass, right? We're number one. Right. You got the 100K bonus, but you can also see like our competitor was right under us, number two, Mike, and he's also in the clean biz op space. For anybody who doesn't know what that means, it's basically like the local businesses, but at the same time they have their own coaching offer, right? So we use the term clean biz op in the integrator space, and in his clean biz op in this example, Mike was a painter, so he's teaching other painters and helping them, like kind of like barbers, getting more clients as barbers, making more income. It was painters get more contracts, get more jobs as painters, and scale your income. And so super, super fascinating dynamic. Everyone thought it was going to be, a regular biz up like, oh, AI automation, drop shipping, trading, crypto, whatever. Yeah. But no, it was two clean biz ops facing each other. And I'm pretty sure Tim is going to talk about like the mechanism and how kind of like undervalued it is really in the integrated marketplace. It's a little side tangent, but that's our competitor. And he was a competitor. Every night he just like, okay, we're up 5K. Next day, morning, we wake up, oh shoot, he's up 5K. Like that was it for 30 days straight, like back and forth. And if he didn't push us, we probably would have barely hit 100K. There's no way we would have hit like past 200K MR, right?
Yeah, the testament of a good competitor gets the competition going. Okay, and so now that we have the stage set of School of Barbering versus this fucker, we're now like, all right, how do we reverse engineer succeeding? And so I would say the first step to that is we have to have the floodgates in the front open with the leads coming in. And so what does it look like with the marketing systems that you have, and how you're able to get the content consistently pumping to keep that lead flow? Because Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's an excuse to get that lead flow in. But afterwards, you have to maintain that. You have to maintain the CTAs. You have to maintain leads coming in the door.
Yeah.
And so how did you keep that consistently going?
So the first 2 weeks, what we had done, shout out Double I again, but we had used the IG story sequence to keep generating leads, and we kept doing that until it would fatigue, which it did hit a point of like it didn't work as much, right? If you're gonna post a CTA every single day for 2 weeks straight, people are gonna like it's gonna fatigue your audience for sure.
Yeah.
So we needed to kind of like transition, and that was the main strategy we had done. We really didn't have the system at that point to post consistent content to do all these things. IG stories were just like easy. You use the SOP, boom, you get the leads, you post it, right? And so like we didn't post any reels, we didn't post long form YouTube videos, we didn't run any ads at that time, right?
Yeah, and the barbers are closing so much, so like they're busy too. Like what time do we have to create content, right?
Yes. So that was the stage we were at, right? And so for us, that was working for the first 2 weeks, but then we did notice like it was getting dry. It was getting dry in the DMs, the pipeline, and everything. Like we weren't getting as much inbounds as we should have, right? And so that was when we had to like kind of make a shift in new strategies, right? But so what had happened was it started fatiguing. It was still working for sure, but we needed to change up the strategy.
Wait, so like high level on the IG stories though, like are you literally posting every day a story sequence?
Oh, no, it was every other day. It was about every other day. No, it wasn't like a CTA. It was a CTA probably like every other day.
Interesting.
But like I think we would post stories every single day, and maybe like the next it would be CTA. The next day it would be maybe a testimonial or like some sort of life update, lifestyle type of thing, just to show like we're not only posting to CTA you guys
to sell.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, it was that type of rhythm that we had.
Got it. Okay. Right. But then now you're like, shoot, I have to switch this up. I have to add, we got to get back on the marketing. We got to get back to lead flow. So what did you build out? I remember you had like some things in Notion, shit like that.
Yeah. So we built an actual like system to kind of streamline content and everything. Shout out Double I again, but we obviously had a lot of fulfillment to do. We had used some of the recordings for fulfillment, clipped it up, and we had used that as content, right?
So you're talking about the coaching calls, like the consulting calls that are giving advice to the barbers, correct. The barber creators that are giving advice to the barbers, and then you just clip that up. I think we had that sort of system instead of, our company, posting some of our coaching calls onto the YouTube channel. Same thing you guys did.
Correct. So we did that, just like super, super frictionless. Like you actually have to, because we had to show up to the Zoom calls. They actually had to coach and stuff, and so we just used our editors and we did that. Another big thing, another system that we used was IG lives. If you were a barber, you would see like we went on the lives a lot, and then we also had our editor clip up the lives of us maybe like consulting another guy on there or giving advice, and those were ways we were able to post consistent content. So shout out to the editing team the barbers had, but they were able to get content off of that. And then also from the lives, they did go on lives to book extra calls as well. That was something that they didn't do.
Right.
Kind of like a little webinar, but for IG lives.
Right, exactly. Like a vertical webinar. Ooh, new mechanism. Okay. And what about on the sales side? Was there anything like unique that you did here, or was it just like still running the same process?
So we still kept closing. We still kept using the same process. I think tactically we did improve on a few things with our sales skills. And that was just more of a daily thing where we kind of reviewed, hey, this needs to be done better. This needs to be done better. So that would be the only thing that I guess we changed.
Like, did you guys have sales meetings? Did you run a team? Like, how did that look?
Yeah. So we ran a meeting pretty much every other day. And kind of there we talked about certain objections we could pre-handle, ways we could kind of sell better, that type of stuff. So we just had those type of sales meetings, especially because everybody was on calls at that point. That's what we did. And we did create an asset, the pre-call flow, to kind of walk through certain objections to handle. and beliefs we would want them in before the sales call. So I would say that contributed a certain amount just to make it an actual sales call. Like when they're buying, they come in ready to buy, versus like educating them for 45 minutes and then closing them for another 45 minutes.
So then I guess week 3 now, this is where the leads start drying up in the story sequence.
Yeah.
And we're not like, shit, we have to do something to acquire more clients. And so there were 2 crazy systems here that you did, which was the affiliate partners and then ads as well. So could you break those down for me?
Yeah. So, okay. So what ads, Ken was the main guy who ran that. We had studied our competitors' ads. There's another guy, Chris Basio, and 2 other guys, Hakeem, which were actually barbers who both won the school games in separate months as a barber. So like we had to take some inspiration from that. And he would run retargeting ads, basically just to recapture lost leads. So like people who, let's say, would hit our book a call form and they wouldn't fill it out, we would retarget with an ad kind of handling a certain objection, just to kind of get them back in the pipeline. So that was the ad strategy. The affiliate strategy was when we started asking each person for a referral.
Okay, so like ads, you start running retargeting ads, right?
Yes.
Nothing. Okay, so the messaging was not like top of funnel. It was very much like, hey, you see my shit, buy my shit now.
Yeah, it wasn't the cold traffic right away. It was still to warm traffic, because we felt like we hadn't really maximized that, and so that was it. And then it was
what was CPL on those, and like what was CPA?
I have no clue, to be honest. I don't know what the metrics are for that.
It's all
I did
good.
not really play a big role in that at all.
Right.
Yeah, realistically for December, I don't think ads played a huge role.
Oh,
We only spent 8K in ads, just to be completely transparent.
okay. And like, do you remember at all what the ROAS was on there or no? By the way, if you guys don't know, like ROAS is return on ad spend.
I actually remember we were break even.
Break even. Okay, so
spent 8K, we made 10K back. So yeah.
right. So I guess it's just more like pumping money for the school games. Like I want to get more revenue on there. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But the big thing was the affiliate partners. Like this is what I think was really interesting for you. So like, tell me about that.
Yeah, so the affiliate partner was a very interesting strategy. We did that on a larger scale. Going back to my example I gave earlier, Ivan the Great was a partner in the School of Barbering, right? And so with him, the mechanism as a barber is you need to, in any barber, kind of where we're at, you have to post content to attract clients so that you can hit 10K per month as a barber. And that's like messaging in the high ticket barbering space, really. You just have content is like a key essential. Because you have content, it's kind of like growth operating. You're posting content to actually attract coaches, but by proxy you attract growth operators. And so for the barber market, you post content, you try to you try to target actual clients who are barbers, but as a result you also target other barbers realistically, right? And so we did like an affiliate model where we're like, yo, you guys have your brand, you guys can still monetize. There's likely a few barbers who actually watch your content, and you can actually monetize that, right? And so we made a referral and affiliate kind of scheme where we incentivize them. Hey, if you basically refer us to them, we'll give you clippers. We tested that out first, right? We'll give you clippers. We'll give you free merch.
Wait, I'm confused. So, okay, I think I got up to the point where like there's these barber creators that want to also get into this info space and coach, but obviously they don't know how to fulfill, they don't have a product or whatever. And so you, as like School of Barbering, was almost like their white label partner to help them launch their own offer because you guys already had a good product. And so then did you like go to all these other barbers and were like, hey, launch with us? Did you like outbound to them? Like, how did that work?
Yeah, so we did a strategy where we helped them launch their own type of coaching program only for Ivan. That's the only person we did it to. Okay. But for other people, it was like more so white labels. Like you can say you're a part of School of Barbering. They'll have access to all the course and stuff. And they'll basically have access to what we gave to you. And we'll incentivize you by giving you clippers will give you a percentage of what
What do you mean by
price is.
clippers? What was the idea
Like
there?
hair clippers.
Oh, like hair clippers. God, I thought you meant like video clippers.
Oh
Okay.
no, yeah.
So like clippers as in like what, why would they care about that?
It was just to incentivize them for taking action on the deal. I mean, like barbers, they always need new clippers, I guess.
Right? Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
like what's, I get the affiliate part as in like you,
It was a bonus. Think of it like a bonus.
okay. Wait, so okay. So the affiliate part, is that where they're going and telling their audience like, hey, buy School of Barbering and they get a 50% cut of like how much of the leads that they bring in?
Correct. Yeah. So like other barbers, they would actually post stories of like, hey, so the guys are trying to win the school games. They're doing a huge thing. You're never gonna see a deal like this again, which is true. We're never doing something like that again.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we would do.
Oh, and so the offer that you told them to talk about on the front end was like, they're giving free clippers.
Yes, yes. That was
Okay, got it. Okay. So the clippers part is an offer, and then it's like an offer to the customers, and then and the other side is like you tell these
spot on.
these barbers to then give the clippers to these guys, which then funnel up into your group.
That's exactly what we did.
God. Okay. So like high level view, like screw the clippers, whatever. You're getting more of other people's audiences, kind of like the Andrew Tate model, right? Like Andrew Tate had other people, like funneling audience into the main Hustlers University, like real world. But then you guys just did it in the barber space, and you leveraged all of the creators' friends to bring into the product, or other barber friends.
Yeah,
Genius.
yeah. So like, I
Fucking
think this
genius.
audience, integrators are familiar with Tate, of course. So like, think about how Tate, they have all these big theme masculinity pages and whatever. So like, they were incentivized to obviously promote the War Room, right?
Right.
Tate's program. So think of it like that for the barber community, which was like a pretty interesting affiliate program.
Okay, so then week 4 though, and this is where like it's more so third week of December, right? This is when we're like, all right, what are you at revenue wise right now at this point? Before that,
Week 3 of December,
yeah,
we're not even at 100K yet. We're like at 70 something.
right.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
we hit our first 100K in sometime in week 4. I think it was like maybe like the second day of week 4, but we're around 80-90K in week 3 right now.
Wow.
And this is when like Mike is literally at the same level. He's on week 3. Every single day it was
Mike the competitor, Mike the painter.
it was when he was he was at the exact same level in week 3.
So it's just
Every
like,
single day we'd get 5 new clients, he'd get 5, like not just
wow, impressive. And this is when you're like, fuck, we got to do something. And so you just go start spaghetti on the wall mode with these different offers. So tell me about all the offers, like chronologically, that you ended up trying.
So week 4 is when we launched like the craziest, like if you guys are familiar with $100 million Hormozi offers, this is it. But we basically like we ran an ad to this, we ran a crazy promo to this, but we said barbers.
No, okay, but before the main one, right? Like you said that there are offers that you tried before you got to the one that like stuck, right? So what were the ones that you did test out and like shit didn't work until one like banged?
So here's what we tested out. We tested out free clippers, free
So free hair
like
clippers,
one-on-one online onboarding
free
calls,
one-on-one onboarding call.
and we tested those too, and they worked, to be honest. But
And when you're saying testing these, right? Like this is on ads. So like, on organic, as in like on the IG stories?
On stories, yes. On
Right,
stories,
stories and
on referrals. Like, so like if you can refer somebody, we'll give you a clipper and stuff. And so it worked. We got people in.
okay, quick question. What about like on IG stories or on YouTube's? Not at all?
We did it on IG stories, yeah.
Or sorry, IG Reels and YouTube. Is there like any CTAs around there?
Yeah, we did one on Reels, yes. YouTube, no.
Okay. So the biggest thing is like Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Damn, bro. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll say something that worked. We got leads in, but it wasn't really like a no-brainer where like people would jump out of their bed, stop what they were doing, and come in, right? So we thought like, what is the most, and it was working. Like we were still closing like a good amount per day, but not to the level Mike was. that's what Mike started the week 4. He started outpacing us. He started getting a lead. He never once got a lead on us until like week 4-ish. He started going like 2K ahead, 3K ahead, this type of stuff. And the whole entire like 20, 30 days, we were always ahead of him. So we're like, what the hell's going on, bro? And he actually launched something similar. We funnel hacked him. We saw he was like doing some done for you stuff. Really, really crazy guarantee and offer. So he was doing something similar.
What was his offer?
He said like guarantee X amount of contracts, and like he put like a money back, or I'll give you this. So that was like a really, really big offer for him. So we had a matchup. We're just like, what is something where like people will stop what they're doing and just get out? So like the offer, just to put it blunt, it was like, this is the exact copy too, but it's like, I'll literally fly out to you, come to your shop or studio or house, wherever you cut at, and I'll mentor you for the entire day and give you like a free lesson or whatever.
Wait, I thought it was like they fly in to LA. No?
So yeah, they fly in. But we had 4 different like huge hotspots.
No. I'm talking about like, oh shit. Wait, so I thought you were telling people to fly into LA, but you're no. Oh, so you did one in LA.
You, the cop was like, I'll fly out to you, I'll come to you. So it was Philly, LA, Portland, and Texas. Those are the 4 big hotspots.
So that's how you're fulfilling on it. As in like one in LA, one in Philly. Dude, this is almost like oh my god. You know like comedians or music artists where like they go to different it's like a tour. Like you guys literally launched a tour offer. Guys, so if you're enjoying this and you're, let's say, a current business owner, a copywriter, a high-ticket sales rep, or an agency owner, you're making, let's say, $3 to $5 grand a month, that's already in, or let's say you're looking to get into this online info marketing space and scale up with these creators with this growth operating model we're talking about here. And let's say you're looking for help starting this model out, you're in the outreaching phase, or even you're trying to launch your first creator. Our operating incubator basically installs all of the systems to scale to, let's say, 10 to 25 grand per month as a growth operator on a pretty much one-on-one basis. So to understand exactly what our growth operator model is, if you're interested in what we offer, then go ahead into the link in the description and book in a call with me or one of my team members on how you can get these results. See you soon.
Yeah. We launched a tour offer.
Yeah.
And we also knew that the debt would be high, but the content would be insane. Like they'll post content about them flying out to their students and stuff. But
that's genius.
realistically, we didn't get too crazy. Like we made a joke about like some like people from like China or something would take advantage and make them fly out to there. But luckily we had really big locations where we were all nearby and stuff. Almost, we had, I think 90% of the demographic of barbers were in the US. The other 10% were like in the UK.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
And Australia and other places or whatever. But we didn't have too much fulfillment of that. It wasn't actually as crazy, but we got like a ton of leads in. And it was like almost like clickbait. But thank goodness, like that really maximized the organic audience. So like the people who were in LA go to David. The people that were in Philly, they all went to Ken. People in Portland, Los, Texas.
Wait, so did you guys already do these events?
No, we didn't do it yet.
Not yet. Got it. Do you plan to do it next month or when?
Yeah, February. So this is next month.
Oh, fuck yeah. Wow. But
so that was our first.
Right. But dude, this is genius. But like the idea was that, hey, or like the positioning at least on the front end was like, we'll literally fly out to you and what the fuck? And if you come in right now, then the add-on bonus is that we'll fly out to you and you guys can come to a literal live mastermind.
Yeah.
Damn.
So bro, I'm gonna be just completely honest. That was such a good offer. Like some men didn't even need a sales call. Like some of the barbers, they would just like, yo, where's the payment link, right? Because of how good it was. And to give some more context, David was doing one-on-one classes. I forget what his rates are, but I think he charges like $3K for a day, right? For a full day of like teaching you how to cut, create, scale, post content, everything he knows in like one day. So that was like a really, really good deal. So you're getting that, and then you're getting the actual like offer of, hey, you're gonna get online coach, you're gonna get this template, you're gonna get the actual School of Barber Elite. And we had to experiment with this too because people didn't know how good of an offer it was. Like we had to clearly articulate, this is usually what we're doing. Like, I will just be transparent. We're in the school games,
Oh,
and
you
there's
just like
never
that I
gonna
said
come.
it. Like,
We
hey,
literally
we
did.
need money.
We did. I said it. We said that we are losing money from giving this offer. Like, we're giving you guys free value right now, like a lot more than what it should be worth,
Right.
just because of the school games.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah.
I remember Max Perzone, he did the same thing. Like the last 24 hours, he like literally did a live. And he's like, guys, give me money, give me money. It was like he's literally live begging. So then I guess week 4 is when you're offer tossing and that one bangs. And afterwards, then this is when we start bleeding into week 5. Is this where you start getting the lead on the painter guy? And you're like, all right, now we got something here. Good. Going out
We
from
didn't get a lead even from that because
Oh, you did it?
He was, dude. There was one day where he did like 10K days, consistent 15K, whatever it was, and we were barely break even with him. Like we were even after all that. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
he's a savage, bro.
Damn. So then on week 5, like, how did you catch up? I remember you pulling all-nighters and you did another very interesting strategy on week 5 where you had a 65K day with this unique closing the entire shop mechanism.
That was the final day. Yes, so that was the
Right.
final day.
But like break down
where-
week 5 high level first.
So for week 5, before I get to the last final day, which is where we close 65K in a day, we just want to get the offer in as many hands as possible. So like you refer someone, tell a friend, we'll give you both a class. We'll do outbound literally to our followers. We'll just get that offer in as many hands as possible. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so it's like this. There's 4 days left, right? It was like 4 days left, and we are at 100K, right? 3 days left, 110K. 2 days left, 120K. The last 24 hours, we were at, what was it, 140K. So we did like a 10K day, 10K day, 20K day. Then the last 24 hours, that's what we did at 65K a day. And to be completely transparent, it was wild. But you know what's even more crazy is Mike, our competitor. He did exact same revenue as us on the last day. He did exactly 65K as well. So you could just imagine you and your entire team being on Google Meet, like everybody's crazy. Everybody's looking at the scoreboard. You see 1K here, School of Barbering, 1K, 2K, 3K, and it's funny because nobody knew what was going on with the rest of the competitors in the school games. Like they were just like chilling or whatever, and it was just us two, like 5K here, boom, 10K, and we were going to a point where every single minute on the hour, it was one new close. So 1 minute, 1K, 1 minute, 1K, 1K, 1K. So that was the rhythm. That was the rhythm. And we were all like doing whatever we could. But the mechanism to be completely transparent was we had hosted a private webinar where they even had a connection with this barbershop. And he had told his barbers in the barbershop, you know what? I want to coach you guys, give you guys an extra class where I'll coach the entire shop. Let's get you all in. Not only that, I'll give you guys all of the School of Barbering resources as well. And so the barbershop owner, which is obviously like David's connection, we did it like that, right? And so from there, it was like 10 barbers, barbershop owner. It was 10K, basically.
Jesus.
Just,
So you did 1K for all of them for the entire
Yeah.
store.
yeah, so
Why
it
you
was that. And they all wanted to do it anyways. They were like, okay, I want to do this program. I actually want to support. David's going to come mentor us personally. And then like the other 50K was just like grind. It was getting the offers in, following up every single lead or organic, literally closing them. So funny. Like I'll tell a story. Really, really funny story, but like Ken was on like these calls telling me, yo, you don't know how good this offer is. It's a really good offer. Like I can hear your life story any other day, bro, but now's not the time. Now's the time where you like just join my offer, bro. This is when we had like 20 minutes left and like Mike was outpacing us. So it's like a really, really funny, just funny stories like that. Like I need you guys to understand how good the offer is. We did a little Zoom thing with like the school, like our low ticket $50 community. We got about 40 participants in, right? And I think we closed like 15 people out of the 40 just from the offer, right? And we gave them an extra bonus, like, yo, you guys will get the one-on-one in-person class, and everybody who joins will give you guys the extra clippers as well. Just like it has to be within like 5 minutes, right? Or whatever the time is. Like it was wild, bro. It was the craziest last hour of 2024. December 2024. Clocks are ticking, but it was an interesting day. Um,
Wow.
and the notifications were just going crazy, like 1K this, 1K that, close, new client, close. But yeah, that was it.
Wow. So just to break that down, that first 10K, that unique thing that you did, there was a barber store owner, and you told them,
Yeah.
I remember like you telling me this on our other call, that you closed the entire store. Because the rule is that you have to close these guys, or you have to, like, each 1K has to come from somebody. You know, you can't just have 1K processed by like one account. That doesn't work. And so what
Yeah,
you
that
do
was
is, right. And so what you did was you basically did like a B2B, almost like enterprise sale, where you're just like, you went to another business and you're like, let me just train your entire group. Like kind of like what, McKinsey or Deloitte would do. They would like say, hey,
yeah.
let me train your entire company for you. But you just did it in like a barber to barber shop context, or barber coaching offer to a barber shop context. And then you close it for like a whole 10K. And the other 55K came from all that monkey madness.
Yeah, that's funny. That's what we called it. It was like a B2B barber to barber deal, bro. It was really funny.
B2B, but it's barber to barber. Got it.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy crap. And so this then allowed you to end at, how much was it? How much was it? 200 or something?
So it was 205K total revenue for the month.
205K revenue. And
And
then you got,
just to confirm, like we this was not including like the bull run from like cyber, because like we joined late in the competition.
what do you
So
mean?
there was extra revenue for that. So you know how like we came in the competition like on December 5th. Remember? Like I was just like, we had a team meeting, we're like, okay, we're gonna decide to enter in.
Because you started
But the
processing on
revenue
school then.
we were processing on a different school that we didn't enter the games on. So
Oh.
realistically we did probably like 230 or 240. A lot of people get confused on that, but it's whatever.
Hmm.
And then obviously the 100K bonus from Hormozy and the low ticket stuff.
Right. And just like a high level, what that means, it's like the people who win first place in the school games, they get $100,000 cash from
Absolutely.
Hormozy. And so,
100K or a Cybertruck.
right. And then they
I
ended
think
up picking,
100K.
they ended up picking the Cybertruck. You'll see
Yeah.
it on the ads. You'll see it on the ads. Well, we're not going to talk about that. That's a separate thing.
Yeah.
But basically, wait, can we talk about that? Probably
No, I think Hormozy wants to keep it chill, bro.
not. Yeah. All right.
It's
If you join Integrated Incubator, then we'll tell you about it on the back end. But I guess, yeah, main thing is that, damn, you ended up, closing the entire, or not, yeah, I guess the entire barber market to 200, 50, basically 50K plus another 100 grand, ending the month off at 350 grand cash collected for yourself, or sorry, for the entire company. And then you
Right.
took how much percent of it?
I think this is the part where they didn't want to include, but it was
Okay.
over 33K profit. Yeah.
Oh, so you can't even talk about how much you made or no?
I can. I think that's like my own thing, but yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so then this ended up leading you to make 33 grand yourself. Honestly, you should have got paid more, but you still crushed it with that. Okay. So I guess like just some rapid fire round. Okay. Why do you find that this model is so good?
It's a bulletproof model. People have been doing it ever since the beginning of whenever info was created, right?
Man.
And
Ever since
there,
God
there's
created the earth.
exactly. So there's like an influx of creators, and there's not really, I guess, much people on the back end who can really help and integrate these solutions, right? And especially like as Tim points out with his new mechanism, it's like the AI stuff. I think that's our responsibility to help integrate that into the business. A lot of the creators are going to be behind for that, right? And so even integrating like these new and improved, updated solutions is always a place where you can provide value. That's always going to be a gap in the marketplace where an integrator could come in and provide that solution.
Okay. So then who do you find that this is for? Who do you think this would be best fit for, this sort of model?
I personally find that this is best fit for somebody with some sort of entrepreneurial background, whether that be, you're a high ticket closer, you want to transition and get into like a more leveraged business model. Even like copywriters, I technically considered myself both like a copywriter or a high ticket closer before this, right? And you just want to have more leverage. Like, so basically freelancers, whether you're closer, copywriter, funnel builder, even like if you're a CSM or an actual operator in the space and you want to learn a holistic view of how to really not just make more money, but actually provide value and help actual businesses. Because just from this, like the School of Barbering is probably the number one barbering company in the entire market right now. A lot of people look up to them. Just the branding is really good. Just them being with Hormozy, them helping all these barbers out, right? So you're really changing a lot of people in their lives, right? So if you want to learn how to be an actual entrepreneur, I guess, and learn business at a high level, I would say this is for you.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed too. Like a lot of sales reps, a lot of even like agency owners that are very spread thin across like different niches. Like they don't fundamentally get how to scale a business to another level because they're just focused on like, let's say a content agency, they're just focused on the content side, or I don't know, like I guess sales agency gets to see a bigger jump, but something like just like an appointment setting or like lead gen, you're not helping the business. You don't get business at a big level. And yeah, that's just like what I've seen becoming a natural evolution to like, here's the next part of like you becoming a real big entrepreneur, like all these guys you look up to, how you get to Alex Hormozy's level, how you get to Dan Martell or Russell Brunson or Iman. It's like you have to understand the full system.
Right. And just to add to that, I specifically recall a moment where you were telling me to watch this one video by Sam Ovens about T-shaped people and how Google hires for people who understand life and business at a multidisciplinary level, philosophy, psychology, coding, marketing. You got to understand everything, right? And so that just comes down to a point like when you scale a business at I guess any level, you'll get some sort of I think every person, if you're an operator in the space, you may have run into this problem, but it's like marketing blame the sales blame the marketing, blame the product, whatever it is. But with the whole integration model, you understand like a T-shaped person, every single moving part of the business, and you can kind of see where the actual bottlenecks are, where the leaks are, and I have to attribute a lot of it to how I was able to basically help these people, like unconsciously, whether or not that's what I was doing with the UGC market, with OI, with School of Barbering, right? So I just wanted to add on my thought to that.
Interesting. Got it. Yeah, it makes sense. I didn't even think about that connection there. Okay. And what do you think would be like, just like even understanding the business model at a high level, right? I think you gave a really good rundown because like people literally saw what happened, what you did. But like you said, you partner with these creators. I don't think we got an exact view on like how we would go about doing this. So the basic idea, just like from your lens, it's like creator, some sort of mechanism that they're going to be teaching, and then, or at least like that, I've noticed the biggest successes are like people that go into a space where like there's an ROI argument, right? And then another one afterwards is then like taking a percentage of their company, right? So what is your philosophy on like what those variables should be, like the niche, transformation, pricing of your offer that you then offer to these creators / coaches / consultants?
Yeah, so for that, the niche, I would like to say clean biz ops are very untapped right now. Going back to clean biz ops, it's local businesses that kind of need that are transitioning into coaching, which is actually what Hormozy was talking about. He was talking about how school, like every single local business actually needs a school community. They need environment where other local businesses can connect, and hey, you never know it, like that the person who owns that community can actually monetize and coach all the people there and share those value.
Interesting.
Create like a program off of that, right? So Hormozy was saying that was actually a big reason why he created school. So that's my niche: the transformation, the pricing, the offer. Really, it's integrating all solutions: marketing, sales, fulfillment, operations. leveraging AI with that, right? And I I heavily advise that you do the rev share model, so like a retainer and a rev share, you could do both. But I find that the rev share model works for both people because you have actual skin in the game. It's not like you're getting paid a retainer just to do a certain task, and it's like going back to the T-shaped thing, understanding all areas because you have a rev share. If there's one bottleneck in the business, like it could be fulfillment, it could be marketing, you will be incentivized to help that out, right? And I strongly advise integrators to follow that approach and negotiate for rev share deals. And it's just good for the clients as well with long term relationship building. Everybody wins, right? So that would be my answer to that question.
Got it. Got it. And how do you plan to scale now? Like, what do you find as the vision of your business and what that plan looks like for you?
Yeah, so that vision, and I've also discussed about it with you behind the scenes as well, but it's like helping a company and learning everything and sticking with, I guess, one info company and handling all the marketing, the sales, fulfillment, operation, integrating it at a high level and scaling to massive numbers, 1 mil a month and past that, right? So that would be the high level kind of view rather than just doing a productized service or whatever, taking 20 clients on, and that's good for cash flow and everything, but you really don't learn, like, I guess, the majority of the skills you can learn and be valuable, like, as a actual growth integrator.
Got it. Okay. And let's see here. How do you recommend that? How do you recommend that someone starts with this?
Start by, I would say, reverse engineering businesses that they might be looking at. So there's probably a few creators that you currently consume right now, and you can see if they're selling something. You can study what are the funnels, what are the ways of getting attention, right? Reverse engineering that, just looking at, I guess, like piece by piece, what is going on, what are they actually doing,
Mm,
and then starting with outreach because
mm,
you outreach is actually you practicing your copywriting, you practicing your sales ability. Even if you build your own website, that's you practicing your funnel building skills. So like you can apply all those things you learn and just start with outreach, see what you can do. Um, so if I were to go back in time, that's what I would do.
interesting. And then I guess you already broke down the launch process on, what you talked about earlier. So I guess we don't have to go too much into that. Okay. So then
Yeah.
where can someone get help for this? If they wanted help starting this type of business?
Yeah. So if you guys want help, basically, my good friend Tim here, he created a 6 hour long YouTube video. I highly recommend. Kind of, I know in the pod I talked about a bunch of other stuff, maybe at like an over like a high level view. But if you want like step by step, tangibly, what I've done, what systems I've used, there's that 6 hour video. I highly recommend you kind of go through that. Um, the free school group, integrator, incubator, free. That's gonna be another great place where I myself learn, right? Other people like can other creators. Maybe you can network with other creators there, find your first client, right? That's a very great place. So I would start at that 6 hour long YouTube video, that Tim can pop up somewhere here in that free school group.
Yeah. And yeah, guys, if you want even more deeper help though, if you're now like, holy shit, I want to make this happen. I want to do this, make 300 grand and 30K in a week, in a month, like Will did, then you could go ahead and book a call down below over there. Like it's basically just a demo. We more so break down for you, like exactly how you can go about doing this model in your process. It's like, I know, you guys understand sales. Like it's a lot less salesy. It's a lot more like, hey, here's how you can go about doing this model yourself with the skill sets that you have, because it's not something that you can just, start. There's not like one clear path, like all these other models do. And that's why it's beneficial, because you're able to build out your own custom offer for the marketplace. And so we'll give you that sort of path on that call. So you can go out and book. And then where do you think people can find you if they ever want to connect with you?
If you want to connect with me, I'll be honest. I'm more low key. Like I don't really post content or anything, but I guess Tim can link my Instagram down if you want to DM me or just chat. I guess that's a great place to start.
Absolutely. And your Instagram is at Squabless, right? Links down in the
Yes.
description, guys. It's going to be one of the top links there.